Welcome to 6-Minute Hump Day, where we help entrepreneurs get through their busy week with a dash of inspiration, motivation, and a touch of education.
Welcome to episode number 54 of the Jeff Knows Inc. podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Lopes. Excited once again, part 3 of a 4-part series with our good friend Adam Jablin. Adam will be diving into what is your story. This is a great one. Sit back, everyone, and enjoy. We are live in the Jeff Knows Inc. podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Lopes. We are on part 3 of a 4-part series with my buddy, Adam Jablin. Adam is going to be going through today, what's your story? Let's get going, brother.
All right. So what's your story? What's your story? You know, I never even knew I had a story, right? And when I heard someone say, what's your story? It sounded offensive to me. Like, what's your story?
Yeah.
But we each have a story. Okay. We all know where we were born, where we grew up, what were our difficulties or insecurities during our childhood, what happened in middle school, what happened in high school, and so on. And why I want people to get familiar with their story is there's hope and strength in there. They can realize who they are and what they're becoming and who they always wanted to be. But so many people don't examine their own story. They're just living life. And they have resentments, or they don't even want to think about the past. We should not ignore the past. You know, we should not shut the door on it. So get comfortable knowing who you are. Write out a timeline. Born May 19th, 1976. Say what hospital, your parents, if you knew them. You know, uncles, aunts, get comfortable with your own story. You know, it's easy to meet this person and that person and aspire to be that guy or this woman. But do you know who you are? This exercise is essential, Jeff. It's essential.
I love that.
I couldn't move forward in my life until I really knew who I was.
Let me ask you a question, Adam. Do you find with social media, because everybody's always painting this perfect life, they're showing just their best moments, that's ruining a lot of people's true stories? Because you're constantly putting your great moments. You're not putting your sad moments because you want everybody to know the best part of you, and it forces people not to think of their story, forces people not to go hit the past because they're always looking for that new moment, the new like, the new follow, and all that stuff like that. So you think social media has kind of driven people away from that? And before we went on air, we were talking about my story and talking about your story. We're two individuals that are very focused on our past and our stories, and they've made us stronger. So do you think that social media is kind of ruining that for a lot of people?
I'll tell you what, rather than putting any opinion on that, is it okay if I flip it?
100%.
Look at your social media and look at my social media and how it's helping people, right?
Okay.
It's getting people engaged.
Yeah.
What I want every single person to know, and I have a video on my social media to say it, is I'm not posting for them. I'm posting for me. If I ever come off like I know all the answers and I'm perfect and I walk on water, unfollow me, don't call me, unfriend me, whatever you got to do. You know what I mean? Because I'm as human and as fallible as the next person. I need that stuff.
Yeah.
I need the encouragement. I need the motivation. You know, and passing it on. You know, you and I did a podcast where you were talking about passing that light on. You know, you smile at a person.
Yeah.
Passing that on enhances it within ourselves. So social media could be the greatest gift to market yourself, to brand, to meet people like you and I.
Yeah.
It could also be the greatest deterrent.
Yeah.
It's up to the individual.
No, I love that. And it's finding that balance, right? I mean, even with my own social media, you try to find that balance, and everybody knows that knows me. I'm trying to build myself as a brand, as a business coach, but you're trying to find that balance because I do want to show who I am with my children and who I am as a person, right? So it's always trying to find that balance. So yeah, I agree with you. That makes a lot of sense. I love that. And yeah. I do agree. Your story is very important to tell. And I love how that little exercise, in a way, like writing down your story, it's a lost art too. A lot of people don't just grab a pen and paper and just write down your story, write down your thoughts. Like carrying a journal. A lot of people like that's another lost art. Just writing a journal and going back and seeing your past. Like one thing I'm very strong about, and it's funny because I'm actually about to do a post on that. So by the time this airs, the post would have been live already. But I am a huge fan, and this is something my wife kind of instilled in me about 10 years ago about developing photos. We develop every photo still. We create photo albums, and it's the most special thing. And I get this on a regular basis. I'll go upstairs and I'll see my kids on their bedroom floor together on a Sunday night, going through old albums 5, 6, 7 years ago, and they're laughing and giggling at moments and trips, and it's so special seeing that. And I think a lot of people have lost. That's another lost art, is just simply developing photos and having scrapbooks or albums that you pass on for generations. Like I love the bare fact that I was with my dad the other day, and he pulled up an album of his army days, and my son was just so amazed. Like Grandpa Joe was in the army, and if you didn't have those photos, it's hard to paint that picture for a younger person, but the photos paints the picture. And now we can connect them to his grandfather. So I find the lost art also, and it's also part of your story, is photos. And I think it's something I've constantly do, and I wish other people would do it. It's something I try to preach all the time. Like I said, you'll see a little video post of that as well pretty soon.
I can't wait. But that's right there. That's the greatest gift, that you could be able to look at that and realize your past and realize where you came from. I have clients, Jeff, that I ask them to do this exercise, and they're like, I'm the most boring person in the world. And then I have them write out their story, and I'm like, that was a movie.
Yeah, I love it. We're going to end it right there. Thank you once again, Adam. And I'm looking forward to our part 4 series next week. Thanks, brother.
Love being here.
Thank you, brother. That's a wrap for today. I want to thank our good buddy Adam for taking time out of his busy schedule to be part of the Jeff Lopes Inc. podcast. Adam was one of our first guests over 7 months ago, and it's amazing to have him back teaching, educating our audience. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. If you did, tell your friends, tell your family, spread the word. We're trying to build something special here. Leave a review. 5 stars would be absolutely amazing. Until next week, everyone, always move forward.